Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Trunks' podcast. I am, of course, his co-host, but the co-host is always here before the main host. You know, Big Trunks is always one to make an entrance. As you guys may know, if you've been a fan of XTV for this long, there he is. What's up? What's up, man? Now, this is going to be an interesting podcast. The guest we have today is from CAW in the WWE. At the same time, has a podcast that's going to be, I think, uploaded later on tonight or maybe early tomorrow. You care to talk about this? Yeah, well, I do behind the scenes work. Still doing that stuff. Oh yeah. I do a lot of behind the scenes work. And, I'm just always putting together some of your favorite podcasts, getting the editing done and different things like that. And he actually ain't a part of a podcast. Motherfucker, you fired. Don't laugh, motherfucker, you jobless, your kid's starving. Now, dude, wow, that's just really cold. Oh, yeah, well, if you can't handle the cold, you damn sure can't handle the heat. Anyway, ding. This should be called the damn Ding podcast, especially after that line. But as I was saying, I do a lot of behind the scenes work, and tonight's special guest is a person that's going to be on not a podcast, but on a Vlad TV interview, and it's very interesting. It's very entertaining. A lot of people might not know about you. Nah, not a lot of people, but I gotta say, from what I heard from your interview, it's very good, and it will give a lot of fans more insight on, the WWE. And that's the thing, about a lot of these athletes and NXT and different stars like that. Sometimes it's not about getting the main stars. I mean, with the exception of myself, like, and Pain and Killer, sometimes the most interesting stories come from those people, like, lesser known faces. You may think that a damn hour-long podcast with Brooklyn Brawler or Hurricane Helms from, WWE or somebody that's like, not even a known name might be some boring ass stories, because it's like, who the fuck care about a damn Dean Malenko? But when you hear these stories, you're like, oh wow, it's very fascinating. You know what I mean? Because shit, they were there and they did see a lot. And I made mention on one of Jazz Mars podcasts, that I had issues with tonight's guest, but we were able to, work out our differences over the phone. As with most people that wind up talking shit about, we wind up, having that mob type meeting, like, motherfucker, you want to swing? Let's swing. And we basically worked it out, and that's what brings you to the podcast. We're gonna get to the conversation as we go on. Tonight's special guest is Impact. Thanks for having me here, man. It's just kind of funny because, with the other podcasts, they say different accomplishments of the person on there. You're just like, it's Impact. He didn't win a title. He got his ribs broke by Goldberg. Yeah, man, that was something else. I mean, tell me about that shit. You did talk about that on the interview, but you went, you did go in depth, but just that pain, man, it had to be something else. I mean, what did the doctors have you on? They had me on morphine and different things like that. And just that time, man, it was excruciating. I remember coughing up blood night after night, you know what I mean, and just catching dizzy spells, because getting that type of injury like that, you know what I mean, it's just something else, and it baffles you, because it's like, here I am, in the main leagues, the major leagues, you know what I mean, what most kids dream of sometimes, and it's like being at Disney World, and shit, your first day at Disney, you get injured, and you're on the shelf. But I mean, at least I was able to last a few more months, before finally, getting out of there. But yeah, it was a trip, dude. Now, I mean, may I ask a question? Oh, go ahead. Did you guys ever cross paths in CAW? Not really. I mean, yeah, no, we did a few times. You got to understand, you was a dick when you was on them roids. you know, um, you always was a dick. I'm glad this is my podcast. I can say what the fuck I want. Wow. Wow, my ass. That man, you used to be a real dick. You know what I mean? I remember, you used to just like, why you used to stare at people like that? Was it the roids? Was your dick hard? Well, sometimes I just, I think that it got to a point when I was on the steroids, I would just kind of just feel so, and maybe it's just something with men, maybe it's testosterone, I don't know, maybe it's something I got to look deeper into. But when you see yourself so built and how easily you're able to see these results, you know what I mean? It's just like you kind of look down at other people. I mean, Trunks, most of your life you was out of shape. I'm gonna beat your ass on my podcast. You know what I mean? Like you were always like, big, and I just kind of looked at the big person as, like, dude, you're fat, like, cause other athletes within CAW, aside from Faz and, but I even looked at him a certain kind of way, like, just how could you let yourself be that big? You know what I mean? How could you be that sloppy? It's like so many other remedies. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those situations too, where certain things, information, and you feel like everybody knows that, but they're just choosing to be lazy and not go out there and get these easy methods. Steroids was my easy method. You know what I mean? It was Lex Luger and different other people that use performance enhancing drugs to get that physique, or play that game that they need to play for their team. And that's just what it was. And I had an ego on me, I had a chip on my shoulder, and that's just how it is when again information is presented to you that you would others don't feel like others don't care to apply themselves. But yeah, man, I like that's to answer your question. Yeah, I remember being in CAW, and I remember sometimes he'll just have this like, I hate this motherfucker stare. You know what I mean? Obviously I can't do it because I don't hate enough motherfuckers. Are you sure? Positive. But I just can't give you that look. Yeah. So, I mean, you said on the end, because this is kind of hard to do. I don't know if this episode is going to come out at the same time, but Impact. I guess spoiler. You said that you felt like you weren't the greatest athlete. Tell us why. Yeah, I mean, because for the most part, you know what I mean. You weren't kind of. You didn't move like the other people in CAW, but you were good for your size. Oh, come on, be real. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and boast or nothing like that. I'm not going to be how Faz is on itself, extremely hard or anything. But at the end of the day, honesty is key, and living your life. And I've learned that through all the different things, all the different avenues I've traveled. In these past few years, it's like, and honestly, I wasn't the best athlete. You know what I mean? I had looked good. I had a great physique. You know what I mean? But as far as like really getting in there, and I mean, they needed people to work with me. Cowboy Jones, the best. A lot of different people had to work with me in order to be that top-notch athlete. Which ultimately, I mean, I wasn't. And then when you really look at my career from CAW, onto the WWE, I never really worked in singles competition. As a matter of fact, when I went to the WWE, they tried to put me in singles competition to see how I was, because Vince, he loved my physique. He loved how I looked. Like, I'm big as fuck, and he was just like, "You're a big son of a bitch." Terrible impression though, and he's just like really just surprised at how I look. And you made Vince dick hard. Wow, Trunks. Well, you over there talking about something. Damn, that motherfucker big. Shit. Can I finish the story? You can. But shit, you still made Vince dick hard. So, I don't even know where I was, man. You're too much. Too much. So, damn. I mean, he tried to put me in singles competition, and I think that what ultimately happened, as far as me getting a push, is, people just seen how I worked. And then once I got that injury, from Goldberg, I think that truly just, like, made me worse. Because even though I was able to, I had 8 months off, from that injury, because I had a concussion as well, because he speared me and I hit the back of my head. Damn. I hit the back of my head. I was bleeding a lot, dude. I was like fucked up, like for a good while. And, to come out of that and then come back like what, eight months later or something like that. I just wasn't the same. I was a little worse athletically, and, I would still use steroids and other performance enhancing drugs, but, I just felt like sometimes I would get dizzy spells in the middle of a match. Damn. As a matter of fact, I think, it was Destruction. It was me. It was just Incredible. And we fought Destruction and, rest in peace, Big Boss Man, in a tag team match. Because Destruction, he didn't talk about this in his podcast, but he had a team, him and Big Boss Man, the Gold. And I don't mean to cut you off, but, I really do wish that he mentioned that, because this was Incredible. The Gold was a good-ass team, you know what I'm saying? Big Boss Man and Destruction. They was a great fucking team. It's just that, they had worked this great match, because SummerSlam 2004, what a shit show. Horrible. I think and you got to understand, XTV East is kind of new to the history of the WWE, so they don't know about terrible pay-per-views and different things like that. But SummerSlam 04 was, it's kind of like, to go into XTV East Coast's logic, I'm sure, shout out to JNW and, other people that watches both programs, but I know y'all ain't gonna understand what I'm about to say, for the people that's outside of, XTV, you know what I mean? I mean, this is new. I know this is new to y'all. So, XTV East, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like when, y'all, like y'all hype up an event, and then it's like it don't deliver. I think anybody can relate to that, Trunks. Oh, you know what I'm trying to say? It like I don't know. XTV East, they had hyped up a SIDE event or some shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And it was like really hyped up. I don't know what it was, but they was like really looking forward to it, and it just didn't deliver. I think it sucked real bad. Like they wasn't feeling it. And it just, the emotions was just like, like kind of shit. And that's just kind of what SummerSlam 2004 was. I remember us drawing pictures. Oh man, the promotion for that. We was doing a lot of backstage work, access, all of these different things to let people know like this is going to be a big event. And, deep in, and that's kind of the gift and the curse in a way, with doing these events. It's like you get so into it. You know what I mean? As far as promotion and getting people behind this big event, and you just like really can't can't wait till it happen. And I worry about Miami Beatdown. Not to be negative on this pay-per-view, because this is definitely a tedious process and something I hope does not be released in March. But even if it does, motherfucker, it does. I don't see a big deal in that. But at the same time, it's just I don't like it to be that late. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a good show regardless. But what I'm saying is I don't like to put a lot of promotion behind shit and hype it like that sometimes, because sometimes the actual event itself doesn't deliver. It's not as good as the promotion was for it. And that's similar to SummerSlam 2004. It was a fucking heavily promoted event. Who closed that show? So, sorry about that, Trunks. Who closed it? Who the fuck was that? I think it was the Pain and somebody. I think Pain was still champion. He probably fought David Kidd Sr. I think he probably worked the main event, and it was probably Best in Somebody. It was a terrible fucking show. I remember, you know what I mean? But what I was saying with this is the gold was Big Boss Man and Destruction, and they had the only good match on the card. You know how people say the fucking the Steiners and the Head Shrinkers had the only good match on the card at WrestleMania 9. That's kind of how this was. Like, if it was a damn Coliseum home video of the WWE, like best of SummerSlam, like this would probably be on that shit. Like, it was a good ass match, And the funny thing is that much wasn't promoted. That's the thing, you know what I mean? With some of the WWE events, I noticed that. Like, sometimes it'll be the match that wasn't promoted the most. When we go back to things like WrestleMania 31, in the WWE, by the way, the best match on the card was NMM and Angle. I mean, well, that was promoted, but it wasn't promoted as much as Pain versus Best, and we already know how disastrous that was. Oh, damn. And also matches like, that crazy ass TLC match with Harlem Heat, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Matt and Jeff Hardy. That was an insane matchup. You know what I mean? It was a TLC 4-way, I believe. Or however many teams I just named. I can't remember that quick. I'm getting old. That was a exciting event. I gotta say, man, I'm probably going to be one of those quiet dudes in a corner on this podcast, because you guys' stories are just interesting. I mean, I wasn't really there around that time. I would hear stories here and there, but I think that's the interesting thing. You would hear things from dirt sheets back then, 2004, 2008, but now you actually hear from the athlete's voice of what was really going on around that time. So I'm just like a fly on the wall. Well, buzz your ass on out of here. We shooting the shit. But yeah, man. But what I was saying with my career, I always teamed with somebody, and SummerSlam. This is what I was saying. SummerSlam 2004, Fighting the Gold was a great match, that we had, and I think like a day after that, Big Boss Man passed away from a heart attack. Damn. You know what I mean? And that's the crazy part about it. Like, it was like right after we were done. You know what I mean? We went to steveswrestling.com. First one of the night. We used to go to steveswrestling.com, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if this site is still around. We used to go there because they used to have like an obituary section where they used to update every now and then of, wrestlers who recently passed away. That's how we learned about Crash Holly passing, Big Dick Dudley, like a lot of different, athletes. We learned that they passed on that, because believe it or not, y'all gonna think we strange as hell and retarded. We kind of looked at athletes as immortal. Like we looked at, we didn't think that they could die. We only thought that Andre the Giant, what's his name? Brian Pillman and Gorilla Monsoon was like the only wrestlers or people within the business to pass away. Like we didn't we didn't think like that, back then. So when we seen Steve's wrestling, we like, oh damn, no wonder I ain't seen Crash Holly and this person in a long time. They dead, and that how they date that they was born, the day that they passed away, and I think that's what happened. It was probably a Tuesday. We was at school, computer lab. Damn, that's crazy, because we going to computer school now. But we went, on steveswrestling.com. We were supposed to be doing homework again. Damn. And we go to the website, and that's when we see it. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, he passed away. A heart attack. And that's just crazy because it's like, damn, the night before. I don't even think it was Destruction now that I'm thinking about it. I think it was Mike Awesome, wasn't it? Mike Awesome and Big Boss Man? I don't know. Maybe it was a variation, because I don't remember Destruction and Big Boss Man teaming up. But, yeah, man. Yeah, the WWE was some crazy times. Now, tell me how you felt. We finna get to the real shit. When I came in there, I'm kissing at the crowd. Why was you hating on me? Dude, it's a combination of different things, I don't even know if I talked about this in the Vlad interview, but like when I seen you come in, like I wanted the Impact players to be taken serious, you know what I mean? And when I seen you come in with this gimmick of kissing and, all of these different things, I'm like, this is not what I want. You know what I mean? This is not what I want on my team. I want a respectable team. You can look at CAW, okay, Cowboy Jones, some people may look at him as a comedic gimmick, but it wasn't really comedic when you truly break it down for what it is. It was more so this deranged guy that, is in charge of this, team of Impact players, you know what I mean? Even the name Impact players, Just Incredible, Jason, all these were players, and then you come out here weird and, it's like, what the hell are you doing? It's kind of like The Godfather Part 3. It's like you got a lot of unnecessary people in there. Don't nobody know about that old ass reference, Impact. Ain't nobody watching that shit. I think they had a Godfather video game some years ago. Ain't nobody buy that motherfucker. Are you still talking about it now? Ain't nobody buy that motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's just certain shit just old. Really old. Trunks, you keep talking about old, but you're really old. Bitch, your mama really old, motherfucker. She is. Man. Dang. I do it my damn self. So, we argued a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put that out there as well. Me and Impact, we always got into it. How close did you guys come to actual brawls? Like how close? Oh damn, dude, it's a fucking list. Yeah, it's a list. That was that one time I'm in my hotel room. You tell me to get out of my hotel room because you got some groupies and shit, you know what I'm saying, that you want to stick the pipe to or whatever. Yeah, dude, and that was a rough night, man. You know what I mean? And cause sometimes when you're in that phase of a bunch of groupies, a bunch of girls, you think that you meet that one. Cause one of the girls I met, you know what I mean? She's talking about how she loves me and all these different things, and dude, literally 5 hours later, she's sipping a cider with a whole nother guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are you doing over there with that? And I just, I lose it sometimes because I just feel like, what's making me, like, am I unattractive? I'm on TV, and, these girls just don't care. But, I'm sorry about that, whole situation. I think that was still heavily on my mind around that time. I was a big insecure guy. Yeah, man, that's the thing, I forgot what I was gonna say. You ever like try to like remember what you say as you saying it? So you say shit like, "Yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to." I don't fucking remember. Let me stop my damn brakes. Y'all give me a second. So what I was gonna say is that's the thing about these girls, man. You know, can't put your heart in it. I done forgot again, didn't I? Son of a bitch. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know, I was watching an interview. Interesting ass interview. You know, I don't even know who the fuck this was, but it was a good ass interview I was watching. I've been watching a lot of interviews lately, so like you know, I just been getting some people mixed up, and some people I don't remember who it was at all, which is the case with this situation. But they made a good ass point. It was a rapper though. And then he had said that, you know what I'm saying, when he became like, you know, famous and like real rich, he was with this girl. He was married to this girl for like a number of years. And you know what I'm saying, like they was on good terms, but she wound up cheating on him with a fucking weed man. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you get married to somebody, you know, and then he said that in the interview. He's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? We married all these years, all this love, but you leave me for some regular nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. It's like, you know, you really question, and I might get in trouble for this, especially in today's climate, but what do you bitches want from a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm just saying, man, a fucking weed man, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you got this multi-million-dollar rapper. You know what I'm saying? He got all these different things going on, but it's like, even that shit ain't enough. I don't know, man. I think it also boils down to who you choose to get married to. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the signs are early in the relationship, but, you know, when you're young, and especially, you know, not to single out rappers, but, you know, when you're in that business, it's like, it's no real, you know what I mean? Fuck, it's no real like, it's no real way of seeing that person like that. You're a rapper. You're always in concerts. You're always doing interviews. So there's no real way of telling. You know, I truly think that some rappers or people within the game should get married when they're kind of, you know, trying to retire or trying to tire out. You know what I mean? Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know, like you know, the situation with them, you know, that goes to show you like why it doesn't really work out when you're still active in music and rapping and seeing these different women and these different people, because the women are going to get more beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how you can choose, you know, in a climate full of a bunch of beautiful women, to choose that one woman and get married. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you should, you know, have sex with these groupies all the time, your whole life, until you catch a baby or a disease. Damn, catch a baby. That's some shit. Oh, damn, I caught a baby. I got 6 months to live. But she got 6 months pregnant, and I got my whole life to raise them. See what I did there? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Impact. So, you know, that's just it, though. You know, you see these groupies and stuff every night, so it's like it's harder to choose that one. You know, and I'm not yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm not saying that you should go every night, you know what I mean, with them, but it should come to a point when, you know, you see your sales aren't as good as they were, and, you know, all these different things aren't working out. So I think that's the point where you should say, okay, this is where I'm ready to bow out. You know what I mean? You know, get that girl, marry that girl, and, you know, you guys just stay together, because once you're retired and you're making residuals and all that other different, you know, money that you make off of your old music or whatever, that's when you should retire. You know what I mean? And, you know, even with athletes, like I said, I'm not just singling out, you know, rappers, because myself as well, you know what I mean? Sometimes I found myself in relationships that I thought would last forever, and, the girl says this, I say that, and, she's not living her word. I'm not living my word. You know what I mean? And it doesn't work out. Somebody's going to get their heart broke because they're going to see somebody with someone else on TV, backstage, or something like that. And that's usually how it goes with that. It's been one crazy ass podcast. The person that I had a lot of beef with is on this bitch, Impact. I had issues with you, as you know, and, we over here working it out. On top of that, this might be the first podcast that we upload from the Dinner in My Trunks podcast, which is crazy because we've had multiple ones, and we've lost a whole lot of them. Mac Anthony just uploaded his. By damn time, finally woke up and found it. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That guy Dalvin is such a individual that's rude. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like, did you grow up with him? Like, did you see him? No, not a lot. I mean, I remember when I was young. You know what I mean? He was one of them old men that would just say old ass phrases. Like the D.L. Hughley bit from Kings of Comedy. Wrench around. he was one of them. You know what I mean? I remember being 5 years old. And this situation is kind of a blur to me, but I do remember Dalvin. I remember his figure, and I remember him being younger. And all I remember is, get that deadbolt up there. And I say, huh? Get that deadbolt over there. I don't know what it was, but I know deadbolt was in there, because that bolt, you know what I'm saying? It was just that dead and that bolt. That's like the main words you need to know. But I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Wow. Yeah, man. But, going back to what you were saying about Miami Beatdown, I think that some things are, in the head, because Miami Beatdown might be the biggest XTV Westside pay-per-view of all time. It's set to be that. I mean, we don't. Justin said this. Shout out to my best friend Justin, man. Like he made a great point. He said that we don't plan certain things in XTV. We really don't. Shit just be happening sometimes. We don't plan on Miami Beatdown being the worst pay-per-view or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not in our thought process. SummerSlam, you know what I'm saying, from what I understand, wasn't in their process of being the worst. They was building it up to be the greatest. But the delivery and execution of it was poor. Same thing with Pain versus Best at that pay-per-view. We keep going back to those, but you got to understand, as far as the biggest things in the WWE history, I think it really was those last years. You know what I'm saying? From like 2003 to 2005. I mean, yeah, it was brung back in 2009, and I never got that chance to ask you, Impact. But how did you? Well, I don't know if they asked you on Vlad, but how did you feel about the revival of the WWE in 2009? It's now going on 10 years. East Coast really loved the revival. Myself, I got different feelings about it. You know what I mean? I feel like it could have went longer, and things like that. And I felt like the way we were doing it was real tedious. And do you think it could come back now? Well, I mean, do you think it could come back? I asked you first. I think it can. I mean, I got to be honest. I think it can. The reason being is because there's so much to do with universe mode, and there's so many. It's so much to do. You know what I mean? And I think just that aspect and the way NXTV is working. Oh my God! It's that's showing you that it has the potential to be probably bigger than it was during its existence. You know what I mean? Only certain people knowing about it and things like that. It has the potential to blow up outside of the region. I mean, again, NXTV East Coast. I mean, yeah, NXTV is spread it out to, JNW and different people like that have discovered it. And same thing could be with this, you know what I mean? We could meet somebody from London, meet somebody from the WWE, you know, that really likes our show and our content. So I think that it could work. Now, Trunks, what do you think? I don't think so. You know, the reason I don't think it could work right now is because of our already insane schedule. You know, you got to understand, even though we got 3 months of school left, you know, we almost done with this. Can't fucking wait. Shit feel like a waste of time. But anyway, I just don't think it could work because once we are officially in the IT field, doing computer work, you know, we gonna be busy as shit. Understand that when we do have a job in this field, we gonna be busy as a motherfucker. You know, troubleshooting problems and fixing computer and technical shit that people don't really care about, but we really doing it as a job, advancing in this shit as a career. I don't even know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I want IT to be my field. You know, I want to entertain y'all. I want to make y'all happy. Watch my videos. I use the Will's laugh track, but yeah, I want people to shit. You know, I don't really want to do this type of work for my whole life, but at the same time, I don't want to be doing the other thing I'm doing my whole life. You sell drugs, you know, because I'm black, you categorize me as that. Bitch, I'm woke. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah. That's why I don't think it could work. You know, us being so busy, and you know, we still got these projects to complete. Candace Family, Cosby's, and all that. You know what I mean? And Cosby's is kind of, you know, like we don't really know if we're gonna even continue that, even though like it's coming out good still, like really well. But with what's happened with him, you know what I'm saying, and how his legacy has been kind of, you know, how it is right now. We don't know, you know what I mean, too soon. So we still looking into it, you know what I mean, and it is something we think about working on. But Candace Family is a very big project. We haven't worked on that shit since last year, you know, because Miami beat down us working on this all the time, you know, and trying to finish it, you know. But like I think it's just that, you know, we so busy where to provide that show weekly as the WWE will be very difficult. You know, I mean, even NXTV, they've taken breaks a few times. You know what I'm saying? JNW as well. They've taken breaks here and there because, you know, shit, sometimes it could be very hectic. You know what I'm saying? Just doing it all the time. And people have their life. They have their personal issues that they have to tend to, families, all kind of different things. And the WWE, you know, has never really taken a break. You know, like I remember back in the day, if something happened where we wasn't able to do it on Monday Night Raw, it would become Tuesday Night Raw. If we wasn't able to do SmackDown on Thursday, it'll be done on Wednesday. I mean, not it'll be done on Friday. You know what I mean? It'll be different things like that. So I think, and I don't think that could happen now. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, other projects, IT work, fixing computers, troubleshooting issues from users and different things like that, and just boring shit that I don't really care about, you know. I wish somebody could have warned me about this field, you know. And it's crazy, Trunks, because it seems like every time you tell people about the work you do, you know, somebody might say, "Oh, my uncle does that work." And what's always their reaction every time you ask them, does their relative enjoy the work? There's your main line, y'all. Everybody's reaction, if they worked in the field or whatever, some of them is always like, yeah. Every single damn body, except, you know, it's a few people that say that, you know, it's a very good field because it's vast, and you know, you pick up information fast once you really learning everything, and you own the field, actually doing these different things that, you know, you have to do, protocols and all of that. But Those are the people that's been there 25, 30 years. And, shouts out to Keith, man. I gotta say, even though I don't talk to him as often, and he does have a lot to show me. Like he want to take me to his house. I want to go to his house, but again, we be so busy, because he got like this whole computer lab. He showed me pictures of this shit, and it's like basically what the school don't have, he has. He's able to show me what they really saying, cause like I can talk to y'all. I hate to talk about my personal life like this, but fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could just tell y'all what I'm going through, as far as the IT shit and how to do different things, protocol, all this. But if I don't have the right equipment to show you what I'm saying, you're not going to get it. Like, there's no way. Which is why I've been so damn confused these past weeks with this lazy ass teacher. You know what I'm saying? I left early Friday, folks. I left early. I couldn't take it no damn more. We was sitting in class for a long ass time. It was like one of them family get-togethers where y'all get together and don't nobody know what they want to do. So y'all sitting there for a long time. One of them babies done shitted. So you want to leave. Nobody shitted in my classroom, ladies and gentlemen, but I did want to leave that motherfucker, which is what I did. Do I hold regret for it? Hell no, because we weren't doing shit anyway. It's like that, man, I mean, my friend always told me college was a scam, you know what I mean? And seeing the situation you're going through, I mean, but at the same time, it is whatever you get out of it. I can't get too upset because it's what you get out of it. And what I've gotten out of it is some good. You know what I mean? Certain information I didn't know. I didn't know about this management. Some of this, yes, I could have learned on my own, but would I have wanted to go the distance and learn it on my own? I don't think I would have. So certain things I don't know and how to partition disk drives, I guess the basis of this is how to organize your computer and how to organize different things, files, computers, and storage. And there's other different factors to it. But the most interesting factors we haven't learned because the school doesn't have the right tools. And, so I can't get too mad at it. I know what you really want to do. Exactly, Chunks. I mean, I've been knowing you for a little while. You really want to tell the fans to go to the website of the school and put "fuck this school." I truly think that's what you want to do. Yeah. I wish y'all wasn't in my head so much. Because I do want to say, yeah, go on Indeed. I mean, not Indeed. Go on Yelp.com. Or fucking Google.com and say, fuck this school is terrible and die slow, bitches. But I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna even say the school name. Just know it's the school. So, moving on, man. Back to some XTV shit. Sorry about that, y'all. Impact. Now, how bad did it get, man? I mean, the steroid usage. Well, it got too bad, you know what I mean? I think I said that on the interview, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's kind of like how heroin is and other drugs. Excuse me. You're always trying to chase that high, but with steroids, it's like I was always trying to chase that look. And no look was always, like I would be happy with, a new look one week. Then the next week I want to look better than that, and I want to look better than that. And, I'm always wanting to look better. And, I think it's just that factor of it. Just always wanting to look better, always wanting to be better as an athlete. And, I just, I struggle with that. But, it got really terrible. And sex started becoming less great. It's because your dick got smaller. I feel like everything you said on this podcast has involved my dick. Yeah, Trunks, you talk about dick a whole lot, man. Because my dick is incredible. Wow, Trunks. So, your explanations for things is just like way somewhere else. You're just like, the reason you're saying dick all the time is because what? Oh, I mean, I think that when you truly happy with the size of your penis and you fucking all these girls, you know what I'm saying? You just really you should be talking about girls a lot then, not dick. But my dick is great. I know, but do you fuck yourself? Fuck yourself, bitch. I'm done with you. Done with you. I quit this show. But yeah, man, because another thing I noticed too, Impact, is you never really came back athletically, or nothing like that. It was hard to make a Shane McMahon toy. Oh shit. From Jack's Pacific from 2000 on a video game. Again, we know a lot of people out there, except XTV East Coast, are confused, but it's just hard to make that. You know what I mean? It's hard to make a replica of how big that unnecessary Shane McMahon toy was, and I think that's why they probably tried to make me a few times, but it never really worked out. So, I mean, there's that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all the time we got. I can finally check on this computer, edit the podcast that I need to edit. Y'all look out for that. Impact, thank you, man. I want to make an apology. Hey, man, I want to make an apology. It was unnecessary for me to treat you how I treated you back then. It was the roids and all kind of other different issues causing me to spaz out on you and disrespect you at times. I wasn't in the right mental space. I wish I was where I am now. You know what I mean? Truly observing everything instead of trying to know everything I observed. And, I was at a bad state, and I apologize. Man, I apologize too, man. And you don't make Vince dick hard. We out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Dinner in my trunks.